Welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga, and my goal for this year is to keep discussing concepts and teachings to help us live a happier and more fulfilling life. Now, first and foremost, I'm a meditation creator and I'm also a teacher on Insight Timer, which is a great meditation app that you can use for free. And I have both free and paid membership content on Insight Timer, and I will leave the link to my Insight Timer profile in the description section below, so you can go check it out, follow me there, or listen to my meditations for free. I also leave my Etsy store link below in the description section, where you can purchase my meditations, the ones that are not published on Insight Timer or my YouTube channel. I'm currently enrolled in an online course about happiness offered by Harvard University, and once I'm done with the entire course, I will bring you the most important things that I have learned. Now, I decided to take this course because I wanted to understand the science behind and the research about happiness. And I actually once dated someone who seemingly had all the reasons to be happy. He was good-looking, successful, healthy, yet deeply unhappy. I wanted to understand why some people, even when they have all the things others can only dream of, struggle finding happiness in life. And I also had a miserable couple of months myself this past year. I have to be honest about that, because I'm always honest with you guys. So I was at a very unhappy, dark places a few times this past year, and I didn't understand where it came from. But I've been doing a lot of inner work and personal growth and reading and meditating as usual, and just doing different courses, and I finally found that light inside me again. And I cleaned my vibration, and things shifted relatively quickly after that, and it also brought huge changes in my surroundings. Like, some people who were not a vibrational match to me anymore left, and new people who were very much like matches to it arrived. Now, looking back, I understand clearly what exactly happened, but I will have to make another video on that topic and how to find your light and happiness. In this video, I just want to introduce you to this concept of not giving a fuck, kinda, but it's deeper than that. If you follow me on my not so active Instagram, or if you saw my YouTube post the other day, this one, you probably saw this truth bomb that came to me the other day, which says your only problem is that you have a problem with having problems. Now let me explain. Life is full of different moments, like some good and some hard ones, but often the trouble we feel isn't from these moments themselves, it's from how we react to them, what story we tell ourselves about them, what we project into them. And the main issue we face is that we don't like having problems. We just don't. We fear them, we hate them, we resist them, and resistance creates more blockages, which invites more problems eventually. Now, watch my video on Resist Nothing, Allow Everything. And let's start by understanding what problems are. Problems are situations that need solutions. They are a normal part of life and help us grow and learn. But when we call something a problem, we start to resist it automatically. And the resistance comes from our mind wanting things to be easy and the same all the time. But life is always changing, and when we fight this, we end up unhappy. Now, unpredictability and change are natural parts of life, as you know that. And if we keep fighting this truth, we'll always be upset. Our minds often stick to problems, making them bigger than they are. And the real issue isn't the situation, it's how we react to it. Now think about it. If we accept problems as they are, we deal with them way better. We look for ways to solve them instead of just worrying about them. And this change in how we see things can really free us. It helps us face life's ups and downs calmly, without too much stress. And to do this, we need to be mindful and accept things as they are. Now, mindfulness involves stepping back and observing our thoughts and reactions as if from a distance. It's like stepping outside ourselves, offering a broader perspective where we observe problems from the outside looking in, instead of looking at things from inside, being absorbed in problems and thinking that this is our whole reality, this is our whole world, and we are just victims of our circumstances. Now, this shift in viewpoint allows us to create a healthy distance from our challenges, granting us a clearer and more composed understanding. And suddenly, problems that once seemed overwhelming appear more manageable and less daunting. Moreover, an integral part of mindfulness is realizing that we are not our thoughts. We are not the thinkers of our thoughts. We are the observer of these thoughts. And this awareness places us firmly in the driver's seat of our mind, knowing that we are in control. Things are not just happening to us, but we can actually influence and shape our own reality. Now, being mindful also helps us see the gap between what is happening to us and how we react. In this gap, we can choose to accept things instead of resisting them. And acceptance brings peace, not stress. And when in peace, you can see more options, more ways to solve the problem, and you can finally realize that you have a choice. So again, by cultivating a mindful awareness of our thoughts and reactions, we can observe how our mind labels and reacts to events. This observation creates a space between the event and our reaction to it. So in this space, you actually realize that you have a choice, because you always have a choice. But in this space, you have the power to choose acceptance over resistance and peace over frustration. But accepting doesn't mean giving up or being passive about things. It actually means recognizing the reality of a situation without letting it dominate our inner state and upsetting us. Now, problems come and go, just like everything in life. Nothing is forever. The good times will pass, the bad times will pass too. And when we understand this, we truly understand it, we can use our energy to find solutions and not get lost in worry. And in embracing our problems with acceptance and mindfulness, we also open ourselves to personal growth. Problems viewed through the lens of growth become opportunities. They are the catalysts that push us out of our comfort zones, challenging us to develop resilience, patience, and wisdom. And who doesn't want to be more resilient, patient, and wise? You can look at each problem as a gift in disguise, an invitation to evolve and expand our consciousness. So in conclusion, the true problem is not the existence of problems themselves, but our attitude towards them. Let me illustrate with a personal example. I live in Sweden, as you probably know, and we recently experienced a particularly harsh winter. And I have a part-time job that requires me to be outdoors too, and often in extreme cold and snowstorms. And every morning I face a choice. I could easily get frustrated about the weather, focusing on the inconvenience of working or having to work under such conditions. Or I could find things that I liked, appreciated about it. A negative narrative or approach could have set a tone of frustration for my whole day, potentially attracting more irritating events. So I opted for choice number 2. I chose to embrace aspects of the weather that I genuinely enjoy. For instance, I love driving on icy, snowy roads, and there's just something thrilling about the way that the car just slides and how skillfully I can navigate turns using the handbrake. And additionally, I also appreciate how snow just transforms the landscape, replacing this dull grey monotony that we have with a bright and illuminated scenery. Now, the lesson here is, it's not the weather itself that bothers you, but the story you tell yourself about it. It's not the weather that affects your mood or fucks up your whole day. It's you allowing yourself to be affected by it. So next time you think of something as a problem, or look at something that annoys or frustrates you, tell yourself, it is not this thing or event that frustrates me right now. I frustrate myself over this particular thing or event because of how I choose to look at it. And this recognition can empower you to choose between finding beauty or frustration in the same situation. Now, what do you choose? It's essential to understand that it's not external circumstances that disturb us, but rather our internal response to them. And this makes me want to talk about the brain's negativity bias, which plays a crucial role in how we perceive problems and challenges in life. This bias means that our brains are more sensitive and reactive to negative experiences than to positive or neutral ones. And this is actually deeply rooted in our evolutionary history and has significant implications for how we handle problems in our daily lives. Early humans, who were more attuned to potential dangers and negative outcomes, had a better chance of survival. being hyper aware of threats such as predators or hostile environments meant that these individuals were more likely to take precautions and survive. Now, over time, this awareness for the negative became sort of hardwired into our brains, and this bias influences how we perceive and react to problems in several ways, actually. First of all, we tend to focus more on what's wrong or what could go wrong in a situation rather than what's right or could go right. For instance, if you receive feedback at work, you might fixate on a single piece of criticism amidst a sea of compliments. And also, negative experiences or outcomes are often remembered more vividly and for a longer time than positive or neutral ones. And this can lead to a sort of skewed perception of past events, where negatives seem more prominent than they actually were or are. And due to the fear of negative outcomes, we are often more risk avoidant. And this can lead to a tendency to avoid new or challenging situations, even when the potential benefits outweigh the risks. And you probably know by now that focusing on negative possibilities can lead to increased stress and anxiety in your body. And when faced with a problem, the brain might amplify the potential negatives, causing more worry and unease than may be realistic. While negativity bias is a natural part of our psychological makeup, being aware of it is the first step in mitigating its effects. Mindfulness and gratitude practices, cognitive behavior strategies, and a conscious effort to focusing on positive aspects and outcomes can help balance this bias. Actively practicing gratitude or deliberately recalling positive experiences can sort of counteract the tendency to dwell on the negatives. Now remember, the essence of our journey towards happiness and fulfillment lies not in the absence of problems, as we said earlier, but in our attitude towards them. The challenge is to recognize our brain's natural tilt towards negativity and consciously shift our perspective. By doing so, we not only navigate life's challenges more effectively, but also open doors to personal growth and emotional well-being. So let's embrace our problems with a mindful awareness. Find the lessons that they may offer, because they always do, and transform our approach to life's inevitable ups and downs. Now, thank you for joining me in this exploration of happiness and the power of perspective. And if you found this video insightful, please give a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Now remember, it's not the problem that defines you, but how you choose to respond to it. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.